The standard setting of the front wheel fork is established by KTM through appropriate test rides. It is adjusted to a driver's weight of approximately 70 kilograms, including motorcycle clothes and a filled-up motorcycle. You may, however, adjust the compression and rebound damping of the front wheel fork to your needs and your driving style. The technical condition of the fork must be good to make any changes. The compression behavior and the reaction of the front wheel fork are determined by the compression damping, which has to be adjusted at the bottom. The compression damping further prevents that the suspension bottoms after a heavy blow. The rebound damping, which has to be adjusted on the top, influences the behavior of the front wheel fork during the rebounding. In most cases, the basic setting corresponds to the ideal setting. The setting values can be gathered from the owner's handbook. First select softer damping, then harder, to clearly feel the difference. Finally, replace the standard setting always from the adjustment screw screwed into the stop. First, change only the compression damping. Turn the adjustment screw clockwise or counterclockwise. If the damping shall be harder, turn it clockwise. If it shall be softer, turn it counterclockwise. Change 2 clicks during every test ride, which shall take approximately 15 minutes. Select your ideal setting gradually. Too soft compression damping causes strong compression of the front wheel fork in brake maneuvers and in turns, less driving height, possibly bottoming, slight turning and to an unstable driving experience. Too hard compression damping causes rough driving, too high sitting position, also case of a soft spring or minor preload, and turning in turns becomes harder. Follow the same steps if you adjust the rebound damping. Too soft rebound damping causes the front wheel fork to rebound too quickly. The directional stability will not be optimal on bumpy routes and the motorcycle would understeer in turns. Too hard rebound damping causes rough driving. The front wheel fork rebounds too slowly, maybe it bottoms, although the spring is hard enough and the compression and the oil level are correctly adjusted. If you want to readjust the changed values to the standard values, turn the adjustment screw back to the stop. Now turn so many clicks counterclockwise which correspond to the basic setting. For the values, refer to the owner's handbook of the motorcycle. Avoid settings which lead to bottoming because this can be an extreme load and can cause expensive damage. By hard off-road use, the fork must be bled approximately every hour, otherwise once a month. As with the front wheel fork, the basic setting is also established by means of appropriate test rides. It is also adjusted to a rider with a weight of 70 kilograms in full motorcycle attire and a filled-up motorcycle. The suspension behavior of the motorbike depends on the type of spring and the selected spring preload. The correct setting of the spring preload is the static negative suspension travel of 35 millimeters. It is adjusted by KTM prior to delivery. If you have to set this value yourself, for any reason, take the following steps. The shock absorber must be cold. Jack up the motorcycle so that the rear wheel is free. Starting from the axle bore, pull upwards with the measuring tape towards the rear fastening screw of the side cover. Affix a marking at 535 millimeters on the side cover. Now take the motorcycle from the stand and contract and rebound it several times. Now measure the distance between the axle bore and the marking stroke. This value must be 500 millimeters. If you do not achieve these values, insert another spring. Springs with different spring rates are available at your KTM dealer. The spring rate from 1 equaling soft to 3 equaling hard is indicated on the spring. Correct changes of the spring preload can only be conducted on the removed shock absorber. To correct the spring preload, detach the clamp screw on the adjusting ring. With the adjustment ring, the preload can be increased or decreased. Retighten the clamp screw with a torque of 5 Newton-meter before you mount the shock absorber so that the adjustment ring cannot be twisted. Use the upper control button to adjust compression damping. This determines with which speed the shock absorber contracts and to which extent the suspension reacts. 13 positions are available for the adjustment. If you turn the control button clockwise, the damping is reduced. If you turn it counterclockwise, the damping is increased. To set standard position, turn the control button clockwise to the 0 position to the stop. Turn 5 clicks counterclockwise. This is the standard position. Too much damping causes a massive hard feeling. The stroke is not entirely used. The motorcycle's center of gravity is high. It runs jerkily and is prone to oversteering coming out of a turn. Too little damping leads to smooth performance and you feel as if the center of gravity is too low. In such a case, the suspension can bottom and the motorcycle is difficult to handle in turns. Rebound damping influences the rebounding of the shock absorber. If you turn the adjusting screw to the right, thus clockwise, damping hardens. If you turn it to the left, thus counterclockwise, the damping softens. The adjusting screw has a holding notch mechanism. To adjust the standard position, turn the screw clockwise to the stop. Turn 12 to 14 clicks counterclockwise. The standard value is adjusted. The standard setting of compression and rebound damping is frequently the ideal setting. If you wish to try another setting, take the following steps. Take a 15-minute ride with the standard setting. Make the compression damping a bit softer, then a bit harder, to clearly feel the difference. Return to the standard setting adjusted by the producer to carry out the setting. Change only 1 notch per test ride until you have found your ideal setting. The same procedure applies to the setting of the rebound damping. Avoid settings causing bottoming because this would lead to an extreme load and can cause expensive damage.